Chapter 389. The Hot Mature Vampire Needs a Doctor. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Daisy is uncomfortable because of Donna's upset expression. I really ruined her fun time. I'm going to have to find a way to apologize later. She smiles at Donna with an apologetic expression and then looks at Lucien again. I would like to get to know my daughter's husband better, but now I came to you because we have to talk about something important. I'm listening, Lucien says, but his mind is split between wondering about that issue and the fact that her husband did not make a blood pact with her. He feels sorry for her and confused because he can't understand why someone wouldn't want that gorgeous and sexy vampire sucking a little of their blood. Daisy sighs and looks at Donna quickly before looking back at Lucien with a sorry expression. I really prefer that we talk about it alone. Why? He quickly asks. She sighs again while fearing to offend Donna or anyone else in her daughter's new family. Can I be frank? Please. He replies. Daisy tries to speak in the most respectful way she can. I, like most vampires, respect the demons. They never hurt us. But most of them, especially the 7 great demons, are extremely dangerous. Lucien looks into Daisy's eyes. You trust me because Rose chose me, but you can't trust anyone here, right? She nods. Do you think I'm a bad person because of that? No. Actually, I think you really should be cautious. He responds and then continues. I trust all my wives because we have a soul connection, but I would not fully trust anyone stronger than me, especially the sins, without an excellent reason. So you understand my situation. She comments as she smiles at him. Indeed. Lucien smiles at Daisy as he rests his hand on Donna's thigh. We are listening. But. This is. Daisy doesn't understand why he is complicating the situation. This is about your relationship with fallen angels who are following us. He surprises her by exactly knowing what she wants to talk about. Then he continues. That is an extremely important subject, and it has to do with them and me, so do you really think I would hide it from my sisters and wives? It's not that. But. Daisy doesn't know what to say because she really thinks that Lucien shouldn't hide it from others. In fact, she is happy that he is honest with them as it means that he is also honest with Rose. Donna provocatively smiles at Daisy while she is pretty happy that Lucien doesn't think to hide anything from her. Every second beside him, she feels that their relationship is improving even more. Also, her body is enjoying his caresses on her thigh despite her mind finding it extremely inappropriate. Lucien keeps talking to Daisy. The only reason pride and wrath are not torturing you now to find out everything you know about that fallen angel is because I told them that you would willingly tell us what you know. Daisy is not surprised by those words. If he already knew about that, they all did too. It is interesting to see a big family as close as they are, and she is happy that Rose is part of that family. However, his next words shock her again, mainly because of his honest and gentle tone. Daisy. You are a brilliant and powerful woman, even though you are hurt now, which does not change how amazing you are. I have no intention of hiding anything from you. The truth is that I need your help with 2 very important issues, in addition to the information you have about that fallen angel. So I really want us to get along. He explains. She smiles at him. If you continue to be honest with me, I'm sure we can get along. He smiles back. The bloody rose is inside my sisters and me. What? Daisy doesn't believe what she just heard. She really wants to have heard that wrong. Lucien is happy with Daisy's reaction. He wasn't exactly hiding that and even talked out loud to Donna about the bloody rose some minutes ago, so Daisy wasn't really listening to his talks and just following him to talk alone. He sighs. This is complicated. My dad mysteriously got the bloody rose. And it also has to do with pride and a mysterious woman. Daisy now understands why she feels that familiar sensation around Lucien and his sisters. Also, many people expected that the 7 great demons would someday try to use Bloody Rose, but they did not do it before because they wanted to maintain good relations with their race. Still, she is surprised that Lucien and his sisters seem to be doing well under the influence of the Blood Rose. Lucien. You know, it is the greatest treasure of the vampire race. Very powerful people already tried to use it even in tiny fractions and still died horribly. Lucien makes a neutral expression. I understand that. I can feel my energies getting more powerful and chaotic at the same time. Sometimes I feel like I'm not in control of myself, and I end up acting on impulse. My emotions are just too intense. This is how the rose acts. It makes sense for you to be such a passionate person. Daisy pauses for a second before continuing. But the situation is really bad. Another rose will only form in the center of the blood moon when the last one or whoever used it is completely destroyed. So, you will die from the side effects of the rose, or other people will try to kill you so that a new rose is born. Then she makes a worried expression. Your death won't be good for Rose. You know, she won't be able to make a new blood pact anymore. Lucien continues to stroke Donna's thigh. My sisters and I will not die so easily. As far as I know, this is the first time Bloody Rose is used in Sin's hosts. Also, they have a plan, and I hope you can help us with your experience as an alchemist and vampire. Daisy makes a confident expression. Yes. I will help you in any way I can. In fact. She pauses for a second and wonders if it's really okay to tell her secrets to Lucien. She just feels that it is very easy to talk to him as he seems to be very understandable, kind, and trustworthy. Well. My daughter and I are already too involved in this to back off. She concludes while she is willing to be frank with Lucien and expect the same from him. I was part of a group of alchemists who studied the Bloody Rose. We have already done many experiments with different people, and well. That part of my past is not something I am proud of, but that knowledge can be useful now. Daisy explains. Lucien can't help but wonder that his luck again seems ridiculously absurd. Not only did he get a beautiful vampire wife on the first day in this world, but her mother is an alchemist with high knowledge about the Bloody Rose. Again, things seem to be of extreme coincidence, or someone is manipulating him, his sisters, and even the Sins. Lust, inside his soul, also thinks like him, and even Wrath, who is not an example of a wise person, can see that something seems very wrong there. However, none of them think that Daisy is hiding something from them. Lucien thinks that if she knew all this before, she wouldn't let Rose make the pact with him because all of that is very dangerous, but now that they are together, he knows that Daisy will do anything to help them, not because of him, but for Rose's happiness. Therefore, they conclude that if someone is manipulating them, they are all pieces positioned there without them having any control over the situation. Lust did not want to appear before to don't make Daisy more uncomfortable, but she does not resist and materializes her body next to Lucien. Daisy, I would like to know why you left your homeworld. I'm going to tell you that, and I also brought part of my research on Bloody Rose. It is at my home in Camblia City, on the East Continent. She explains. Lucien looks at the mature vampire with a kind expression. Alright, Daisy, you don't have to force yourself on anything. We are together, and we will have plenty of time to talk about it. I am very interested in your research, so we will go to your home as soon as possible. Yeah. The fate seems to have brought us together, or someone. Daisy also realizes that their situation looks very bizarre. While her mind starts working at its maximum to think of solutions to stop, or more specifically, delay the effects of Bloody Rose on the bodies of Lucien and his sister, he is focused on more urgent things. Daisy. Lucien says and waits for her to focus on the conversation again. I would like us to talk about the Bloody Rose with the other Sins present. Right now, I need to know if the fallen angel is dangerous to my family. Yes, sure. Daisy feels that she has so much to talk to Lucien that time seems short. She looks at the sky a few times before she looks at him with a sad expression. I meet her 40.3 years ago, 1 year after I arrived in this world. Lucien, Lust, Donna, and Wrath are silent to hear Daisy's story as she continues. In fact, she found me when I was exploring this world. You may already know how angels become fallen angels. She makes a sorry expression. She was in the same situation as me, that is, looking for a distant place to have the last years of our life in peace. I didn't feel any hostility towards her even though she was an angel, or rather, she was no longer an angel, was she? Well, she didn't want to fight either, and just asked me to leave her alone. Daisy explains. She shakes her head and smiles. But I didn't leave her alone. Don't get me wrong, I'm not really a charitable person, but she was hurt and suffering like me, so I wanted to help a possible powerful ally. You never know when we're going to need friends. Daisy sighs. I tried to help her for several years, but in addition to not finding any good resources in this world, the curse inflicted on her seems too powerful for a simple alchemist to solve it alone. After 10 years of research, I think I managed to delay the rotting process of her body. I actually used some resources that I was using to prevent my body from rotting. Daisy speaks with an expression even sadder. Wait. Lucien gets up. He is still curious about the fallen angel story, but now he is really concerned about Daisy's health. Lust said that she is sick but did not give many details about her real situation. Daisy is confused as she thinks Lucien is upset with her because she helped the fallen angel, but she is again shocked by his next words, in a positive way, of course. What do you mean by the rotting process of your body? Are you dying? He asks in a clearly concerned tone. While Daisy is happy that Lucien seems really concerned about her health, Lust speaks out loud. She suffered an attack in her blood nascent, and her body can no longer regenerate naturally. Why didn't you explain it to me before? Lucien asks Lust mentally. She quickly responds. I told you she was in bad shape and that you could help her. But you don't want to ruin her relationship with her husband. You still look very calm. You have another method to help her, don't you? He asks. Lust smiles at him. Yeah. I knew you wouldn't easily fuck her, but now that Sophia is back, she should be able to cure almost everything with the help of your demonic energy, or rather, the mixes you can create with your sisters and mine. While Lucien is relieved that he can help Daisy without destroying her marriage, making Rose hate him, Lust teasingly smiles. But that is just an assumption. All I am sure of is that your cock would do very well for Daisy. Damn, she doesn't even have a husband who feeds her, so now that you know that, you're neglecting one of your mother. In law while she needs your help so badly. Lust comments in Lucien's mind. Hashtag 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 hashtag. If you want to support me and read more than 150 chapters ahead, visit my Patreon. Patreon.com/LamentHief. You can also donate to my Ko-fi. ko.fi.com/LamentHief. Any donation helps me a lot and allows me to continue writing. Chapter 390. Big Plans. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Daisy can see that Lucien is genuinely concerned for her, and that expression of him is somewhat refreshing because she is used to her husband seeing her as the most powerful person in the world and therefore believes that she can overcome anything. However, she is not invulnerable. She is a sick woman who fears she will not live long, and all she wants is to be loved and protected as Lucien loves and protects his wives. She nods while looking at Lucien. Yes, my blood nascent is ruined, and I can't even predict how long I can stay alive using alchemy. Lucien approaches Daisy and rests his hand on her shoulder. Don't worry, I believe Sophia can help you. Her healing skills are excellent, and her life mana is incredible. Daisy feels so relaxed while her body feels so good with just that touch of Lucien. Still, she makes a thoughtful expression. Life mana. I already tried that with some life crystals that I had brought from my world, but it had no effect. The blood nascent is irreparable. He slowly caresses her shoulder, not with any second thoughts but just because he is very concerned about her and wants to comfort her. Sophia has the bloody rose and a sin boosting her already amazing healing powers, so you must be hopeful. He speaks and then pauses for a few seconds before continuing. Also, if she can't help you, there is something that sure can. Daisy doesn't even realize that Lucien's caresses are very inappropriate because now both of them are very much focused on her problem. Also, she is curious about what he is talking about. What is it? Let's start with the first method, and if it fails, I'll explain the second option, okay? He gently smiles at her, making her feel more positive and comfortable. She smiles back at him. I trust you. Lucien also nods and then takes his hand off Daisy's shoulder, making her feel a sensation of loss. Let's find Sophia now. Right now? Daisy asks with a surprised expression. Of course, why should we wait? He asks and then quickly continues. No member of my family will keep suffering while I have methods to heal them. Daisy agrees with everything Lucien does and the way he thinks. In fact, she likes him more and more and is very happy that Rose has him as her husband. A part of her is even a little envious, and she feels ashamed about it. So, she definitely doesn't want to disturb him and his family. Then she makes a hesitant expression. Sophia and the other girls are so excited about the ceremony, and they have a lot of work to make it perfect until the night. I don't want to disturb this great day. Lucien sighs. I won't be comfortable knowing that you are so sick. You and they can blame me for that. Fuck. Why do you look better and better? Daisy really wants to blame Lucien, but for looking more and more ridiculously wonderful. I'm not going to die yet. In fact, I know I can live using my alchemy for a few more years, so some days won't be a problem. She argues. Your problem is very serious, and you can really die at any moment. I will not take that risk. I need your help, you know. He explains. Although Lucien makes it seem that he is afraid of losing Daisy because he needs her help, she already understood that he is worried about her because he is like that, someone who protects his family, and she also already considers him part of the family. Please, don't make me ruin this moment. Your wives will forgive me, but I will not forget that. Daisy begs. Lucien sighs. Then we will do that right after the ceremony. But you guys have the wedding night. Daisy comments as she tries not to imagine Lucien and Rose having sex. This is not questionable. He responds in an authoritative tone, and Daisy doesn't feel like arguing anymore. Then we will do that after the ceremony. She nods while she is concerned that the girls will be upset with her, and at the same time, she can't help but be happy because she really believes that Lucien can help her heal something she has been trying for so many years. Lucien goes back to below the apple tree, picks up another apple, and sits down next to Donna, who quickly accepts another bitten apple from him. Then he cleans the ground on the other side of him and smiles at Daisy. We still have a lot to talk about until the ceremony. She sits next to him while lust materializes her body sitting on Lucien's shoulders, which makes Donna do another upset expression. Do I continue the fallen angel story? Daisy asks. Lucien makes a thoughtful expression. We really need to know more about the fallen angel, but I'm more curious about your wound. What is the blood nascent, how and who attacked you there? Daisy again feels confused about Lucien's way of thinking. From her perspective, he is more concerned about who attacked her because the fallen angel did nothing bad to his family. I haven't told Rose that yet. She makes a thoughtful expression. I understand that you want to protect her from all this shit. But Rose is a strong woman, and she has to know who our enemies are. He explains. Do you want revenge for what happened to me? She asks. I do. He quickly replies. Daisy doesn't say anything, but she likes Lucien more and more every second next to him. She always thought about revenge, but she couldn't really do anything about that. Then she starts telling her story, in short, of course. I have always loved alchemy, and my focus for most of my life was to seek knowledge to help my people. As one of the youngest alchemists of my race, I caught the attention of many powerful people. The royal family invited me to be part of the group that studied the Bloody Rose, and my family was very happy for me. Her eyes sparkle as she remembers the good times in her life. Everything was going perfect. I was young for the standards of my race, I had an excellent position in our society, and the resources to become more powerful and do a lot for my people. We, the Bloody Rose Research Group, were like family. She smiles as she continues. And as a natural part of life, I started thinking about raising my own family as well. There was a guy among us who was really kind. He was also shy, and I had to take the first step for our relationship to start to evolve into something more. Daisy sighs. Everything was going well. But then the second prince joined our research group. He was the kind of mysterious and quiet person who never gets into trouble, but just by looking at him, you can see that he hides his real nature. He didn't interact with us very much, but for some reason, he got interested in me. Daisy tries to be vague about that, but Lucien understands that any man can be enchanted by her easily. After all, she is gorgeous from any angle. A beautiful and brilliant young vampire. I don't see why he would be interested in you. Lust sarcastically laugh. But Daisy did not laugh because that was the beginning of her problems. She continues her story. I definitely wanted nothing to do with that stupid prince. But before I got anything with my kind friend, everyone already knew that the prince wanted me as his wife. She makes a sad expression. I don't blame my friend for not trying to fight for me. The royal family is not bad for the people, but they are still respected by everyone, so he didn't want to get in the way of the second prince. I kept trying to ignore the prince, but it just made him want me more. For a few months in a row, things in our group were pretty bad for everyone. The second prince was so smart that he made everyone think he was a good and kind man who was being rejected by me for no reason. My family and friends tried to persuade me to marry him, and even the royal family made it clear that they supported that. I knew that at some point, I would have no way to keep refusing him because he would do something to force me to accept him. So I planned to run away. I would go to the other side of the blood moon to start a new life away from the second prince and the royal family. Daisy pauses for a few seconds before continuing. My plan was good, but I underestimated his intelligence. The second prince discovered and planned something that I could never expect. The day I ran away, I was chased by soldiers of the second prince, and at a time when I was left with no way out, a mysterious woman helped me. That woman came out of nowhere. Daisy looks at Lucien's face with a thoughtful expression. She just helped me, so I kept running away after thanking her. After that, I managed to escape and get away from the capital. I was hidden for several days, moving from city to city to try to despite anyone following me. She sighs again. But nothing worked. The spies of the second prince knew all my steps, and as soon as I stopped running, someone brought me some stuff. There was a poster talking about my family being accused of treason and attempting to steal the Bloody Rose. Also, the spy gave me a magic recording stone with a picture of me thanking that mysterious woman who helped me. These magic recording stones can keep images, sounds, or even replicate a scene perfectly, and that cannot be changed. That is, it is a precious magical tool that can serve as unquestionable evidence. Lust quickly explains. Daisy nods. Exactly. And that woman looked like a normal vampire. She even had fangs. But the spy then gave me a magic recording stone with a picture of her with demonic horns and tail. She was a high demon, and the second prince would accuse my family of using the picture of us as proof of betrayal and attempt to steal the Bloody Rose for the demons. My relationship with my family was bad since they tried to force me to marry the second prince. But I knew that that accusation of betrayal would ruin not only my parents but also everyone connected with my family and me. She makes a sad expression again. I couldn't let hundreds of people being brutally killed because of me. So I went back to the capital. I was willing to sacrifice myself for them, but before I did anything, that kind friend of mine met me at the city gates and told me that my family and friends were not really in danger. That accusation of treason was a farce. Daisy's expression becomes angry. I was furious, not with my family but with the damn second prince, who manipulated everyone to get what he couldn't have. Without considering anyone else, I pretended to accept the situation and tried to attack the second prince. But he was very strong. He was furious when I hurt him and tried to force me into a blood pact. She pauses for a few seconds while running her hand over her neck, which looks perfectly fine without any scar. He drank my blood and forced me to drink his, but the pact cannot work unless both vampires want that. He became even more frustrated because he was unable to force me into that, and then he started sucking more and more of my blood. She continues. The blood nascent is the core of the anatomy of vampires. That is the original part of our blood, the heritage of our ancestors. And it is that part of our blood that allows us to transform any type of blood into nutrients. The second prince started sucking my blood nascent. That would kill me. Daisy makes a thoughtful expression. But then that mysterious woman, the demon, appeared again and knocked the second prince his dozens of powerful soldiers. She was so powerful. Daisy says with an impressed expression. She apologized to me and said that she didn't know the second prince's real intentions. Daisy shakes her head. I was going to die because of my injuries or because the royal family would kill me. So that woman opened a mysterious portal and said that it would send me to a very distant inferior world and I could start a new life if I managed to survive. Well. She sighs again. Heike helped me when I arrived in this world very wounded. I had my storage treasures full of alchemical tools and resources, so I managed to survive here until today. Lust comes off Lucien's shoulders and looks him in the eye with a concerned expression. She. That. How could that be her? Lucien doesn't want to believe what he and Lust are thinking. However, Daisy, Donna, and Wrath do not understand what they are talking about. Hashtag 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 hashtag. If you want to support me and read more than 150 chapters ahead, visit my Patreon. Patreon.com/LamentHief. You can also donate to my Ko-fi. ko.fi.com/LamentHief. Any donation helps me a lot and allows me to continue writing. Chapter 391. Enigmatic Women. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Lucien and Lust look at each other thoughtfully, leaving Daisy, Donna, and Wrath confused. You can't deny that she looks more and more suspicious. Lust speaks out loud. I can't believe this, otherwise, everything I have lived through so far has been a lie. He responds. Lust shakes her head. You may be wrong about that. We have to believe that she had a good reason. What reason would justify all that? He asks. She smiles at him and opens her arms. This. Before Lucien can ask, Lust explains. When your dad said your mom was dead, you just focused on getting strong to avenge her. If you knew she was captive, you would try to rescue her, and that would certainly end badly for everyone. She continues. But then he told you that she was alive, and because of that, you agreed to make a contract with me. That is, all your father did was to motivate you in the right way. Are you defending his actions? Donna asks in an angry tone. No. Lucien responds while he cannot deny that Lust's thought may be right. That was never his plans. Lust nods. Your father is just a human dark mage with mediocre talent from a medium world. All he has is due to him having access to good resources and help, but he was never able to plan such things or even contact the 7 great demons alone. Maybe that isn't about him or her. Lucien speaks while even he doesn't believe those words. It is possible that there is someone else behind all this, but she is still the most likely. Think, you have Eileen's Naginata in your soul along with the biggest purple world upgrade I have ever seen. You also have blood inheritances from dragons, demons, and humans. Lust explains. Also. Lust makes a thoughtful expression. It takes great power to make many people forget her name and face. I'm pretty sure she was behind that mysterious voice that told us only to go back to your homeworld 10 years later, knowing that you would want to come back much sooner. Wait. Donna speaks as she gets more and more confused. What are you talking about? Lucien sighs. Lust has suspected that my mother lied to me since we found out strange things about me. And now, Daisy's story makes it look like the same mysterious female demon who spoke to Pride about the bloody rose and started it all is the woman who sent Daisy here and that she is actually my mother. While Daisy is still trying to accept the fact that Lucien has Eileen's Naginata, the greatest dragon queen of all times, Wrath is already too confused to think properly. That is impossible. Donna speaks. How could your mother manipulate so many people and even the sins while she was in our world with our father? If I'm right, she is very powerful, maybe so powerful that she has even transcended the cosmic realm and is actually a primordial. Lust comments. Wrath materializes her body and makes an incredulous expression. This is really crazy. If a primordial demon existed, we would know. Lucien looks at Donna. Do you remember her? Do you remember her name or face? Donna quickly nods. Yes, I saw her a few times. She was. She is very confused by not remembering anything about Lucien's mother other than the fact that she has seen her a few times. It's bizarre to know that she knows someone but doesn't remember anything about that person. Lucien looks at Daisy. Do you remember anything about that mysterious woman? Daisy stops thinking about how everything about Lucien is so surprising and focuses on remembering that mysterious woman who helped her. I would never forget her. She was. How is this possible? Daisy looks at Lucien with a shocked expression as she can remember everything that woman did to her, but she doesn't remember her face, name, or even voice. We have to ask Pride if she remembers what the mysterious woman who spoke to her was like. Lust comments. Wait. Daisy makes a thoughtful expression. I still have the magic recording stone that the spy for the second prince gave me. It has a picture of that woman. Let me see it. Lust asks. But Daisy makes a sorry expression. My storage treasure is not very big. That magic recording stone is in my house along with my other things. Okay, we will see that soon. Lucien comments as he makes an upset expression. Anyway, I can't go on ignoring that she must be manipulating us. I still can't help but worry about her safety, yet she seems to be in control of everything. Lust is sad to feel that Lucien is upset and sad too. She hugs him. I didn't want us to start speculating random things about her, but it can't all be a coincidence. He smiles at her and strokes her face. I know you just want good things to me. You were always honest with me. I should also know that something was wrong. I knew it, but I didn't want to start hating the person I love that much. She kisses his lips. As I said, she may have had good reasons. Think about it, because you wanted to rescue her, you accepted me. After that, you accepted Sophia's feelings and then met other people who became your beloved wives. Now, you are creating a big family with them and are also improving your relationship with your sisters. Lucien's feelings are still confused, but he cannot deny that he does not regret having met his wives and especially having started to take care of his sister's needs. Lust continues. If you were with your mother before, you would just love her. All you would do was keep rotating around her, so you would not become that strong and would not let other people enter your heart. Lust's words make more and more sense, but Lucien is unsure of anything about his mother. Speculating will not help us at all. We have to continue with our plans to get stronger and come back. If she is really not in danger, then we will continue with our other plans. Lust tries to look positive, but, in fact, she is very scared of Lucien's mother as she doesn't know what her goals are and how powerful she is. Lucien tries to stop thinking about his mother because it is driving them crazy. He looks at Daisy. I'm sorry about that. I'm really so sorry. Daisy smiles at him. You don't have to apologize as you didn't do me any harm. On the contrary, you're helping me so much. Also, the second prince would never leave me alone, so that woman really helped me by sending me here. To meet you. Ahem. What about the fallen angel? Lust asks Daisy. Probably another peon of my mother, sent over here to keep an eye on me. Lucien sighs as he leans his head against the tree and closes his eyes. Donna rests her head on his shoulder. Don't be so dramatic. I also know what it's like to have a complicated mother. Lucien laughs and kisses Donna's forehead. Yes. Our life really sucks. But as long as we keep together, we can fix it and be happy. Ahem. Daisy makes a sound to get attention. Well, about Fallen Angel. I don't know much about her past or why she chose this world. I thought she just wanted a place to die in peace. She makes a sad expression. You know, becoming a fallen angel is not only being condemned to rot to death slowly, but it is also a humiliating punishment. The gods want everyone to torment and humiliate the fallen angels until they die, so most of them try to flee to the most distant places to die alone. When she realized that I was using her resources to keep me alive too, she said that she didn't want to try anything anymore and just wait for death. So she asked me not to look for her anymore. Daisy makes a sorry expression. I respected her wish and went back to the eastern continent while she stayed on this continent. For many years I was concerned about her, but my situation also seemed to get worse, and I had to take care of my husband and Rose. Daisy sighs. But then Rose grew up and started to ask me to explore the world alone. She wanted to become stronger on her own and well. Just stay away from her boring and overprotective parents for a while. However, I didn't know the current situation on this continent. Rose was already strong, but she hadn't reached the mortal realm yet, so I couldn't let her wander through this world without protection. I came here to ask her to protect Rose, and she agreed to help me because of our friendship. Daisy looks at Lucien with a thoughtful expression. Rose told me how you saved her, so I guess my friend didn't protect her after all. Lust shakes her head. I'm not sure about that. I felt the fallen angel's presence after we arrived in this world. I believe she also felt our presence and came to see if we would be a danger to Rose. Also, she must have been there when Rose needed help and just did nothing because Lucien acted first. The fact that she cares so much about staying hidden only makes her more suspicious. Maybe my mom told her to interfere with our journey unless it was vital. Lucien comments. Now that makes sense. Lust comments. Then Lucien looks at Daisy. What else do you know about that fallen angel? Do you know her name? Daisy shakes her head while making a sorry expression. She was always very mysterious, and she didn't even tell me her name. But it is obvious that she is a very talented tracker because she could feel my presence on this continent even though we were hundreds of miles away. She continues. She always found me, and I felt that she was coming from the westernmost part of the continent, but I'm not sure. No matter which direction I came from, she always found me an hour after I passed the beach. Lust makes a curious expression. She must have really incredible abilities because she seems to have been following us for a long time, and my sisters nor I can feel her easily. I think the times we felt her and found her feather was because her health was getting much worse. Daisy makes a worried expression. I believe that the situation is really bad. Oh.org, let's ask her that, Lucien comments as he gets up. Ha! Donna is confused as well as Wrath and Daisy. Lucien walks a few meters away from the big apple tree, looks up at the sky, and speaks in a loud, clear tone. Hey you, rotten angel, will you continue to hide after hearing everything we said? The only sounds they hear is the sound of the wind shaking the leaves of the apple trees and the fox. People working in the city. I don't know if she was really listening. Daisy comments. Tisk. Wrath makes a mocking sound. Do you really think that all women will obey you just because you are charming? Donna doesn't say anything while feeling like lust, that is, they instinctively believe in Lucien even when the situation does not seem to be favorable for him. Lucien continues to look up at the sky, then his lips slightly curve when he hears the sound of wings flapping more than 2 miles above him. She is coming. He comments. Hashtag 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 hashtag. If you want to support me and read more than 150 chapters ahead, visit my Patreon. Patreon.com/LamentHief. You can also donate to my Ko-fi. ko.fi.com/LamentHief. Any donation helps me a lot and allows me to continue writing. Chapter 392. A confused fallen angel. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Whoosh bam, from among the clouds above Lucien, a mysterious figure appears. It descends at high speed and lands in front of him, not causing much damage to the ground. A young girl. Lucien is surprised by fallen angel's appearance. She is about 1.63 meters tall, with a thin and delicate body, long pale blonde hair, turquoise blue eyes, a beautiful face, and a very young general appearance. She is wearing a tiny black dress with white flounce and long black bands wrapped around her legs like socks. Also, she is not wearing shoes, and Lucien can see her delicate feet. And of course, she has big black wings that come from the middle of her back. The black color of her feathers is not a beautiful natural black, but they look sick and rotting. Lucien can see that several parts of her wings have different amounts of feathers, and it is even possible to see holes in some parts. Also, he can feel that the smell that comes from her is not at all good. Her deplorable state, plus her young appearance and sad expression, make him also feel sad for her and angry with the gods. It is evident that she was very beautiful when she was healthy. She quickly notices Lucien's expression and gets upset. I don't need you to feel sorry for me. Also, don't look at me like I'm a child. I'm 1200 years old, so you're the child here. Lucien can't help but laugh. Even your voice is adorable and makes you look even younger. The little fallen angel makes an angrier expression. Did you call me here to humiliate me? He quickly shakes his head. Of course not. Being adorable is a good thing. I usually just praise my beloved wives like that. I don't want your praises. She responds with a still upset expression. Lucien sighs. All right. Anyway, your situation looks bad. Did my mom offer you help? The fallen angel makes a thoughtful expression, which makes her look even cuter. That woman. I don't know if she is your mother, but you are exactly as she said you would be. Can you tell me more about her? He quickly asks. She shakes her head. You know, I also don't remember anything about her but our deal. Can you tell me about that deal? He asks. She sighs and walks towards Daisy. He's so annoying. Daisy smiles at the fallen angel. It's been a while, my friend. She makes a sorry expression. Yes, and I'm sorry for what happened to Rose. Rose is doing very well. She found a man she loves very much, and he can help me too. Daisy responds. The fallen angel makes a dubious expression. I did as you asked, and I kept an eye on her. But when she was in danger near to him, I hesitated to protect her. I knew that Archer would not kill her because her orders were only to incapacitate, so I was really going to help her, but he acted first, and I didn't expect her to make the blood pact with him so quickly. Daisy puts her hand on her shoulder. It's really okay. Somehow, I understand that things had to be that way. Thanks for taking care of her. She makes a sad expression. Nothing is okay, my friend. That woman. She is very dangerous. It would be best if you didn't leave your daughter with him. He and his family are not good people. Good people. Daisy laughed. The good people never survive very long. I tried to be a good person and just suffered. I like the way he is and the way he does things. I know that, and he will not hesitate to cut off the head of anyone who looks hostilely at Rose, and so I know he can make her happy and keep her safe at the same time. Lucien smiles because of Daisy's words. Then he sits down next to Donna again. So, are you going to tell me about that deal? The fallen angel looks at him with an upset expression. Why should I tell you anything? In fact, part of my deal with that woman is about me not interfering with your journey or interacting with you unless you are in real danger. I've been in pretty bad situations like in that mine. Did you help me? He asks. I was going to help you, okay. But you ended up not needing my help. Still, I left that bow in the mine so that your girls to find it. She responds. Lucien is surprised to learn that his golden bow was a gift. So you have been helping me in secret. She nods. Of course. Or do you really think you're that lucky? He shakes his head. I guess I'm not so lucky after all. We are all just pawns in her game. The fallen angel shakes her head too. Still, you're fortunate. I mean, I've been watching everything, and I can say that so many good women really love you. That woman can't manipulate those feelings. Yeah. Lucien agrees with that, but then he looks at her with a curious expression. You've been watching everything, haven't you? Apart from the things I do in the purple world, have you seen everything? I mean, have you seen me having sex with all my wives and troops? She blushes a little. That woman was very specific about me keeping an eye on you all the time. I can't risk failing on my mission. Lucien makes a hostile expression. You are lucky to be a woman, or I would kill you right now. She remains flushed. I know, okay. Do you think I like watching you have sex? But I was afraid some of your women would attack you in bed. I still don't trust that woman called Olivia. He sighs. I'm going to forgive you because I know you had to do that to get help from that woman. How is she really going to help you? The fallen angel realizes that Lucien thought of something, and that makes her curious. She doesn't want to give him much information, but she also wants to understand more about that mysterious woman. She showed me a seed of life. Not an ordinary seed but the most powerful one I have ever seen. And I have seen seeds of cosmic realm people. Lust quickly explains. A seed of life is like a life crystal, but it is made by someone with high control over their life mana. Anyone with good control over their elemental affinity can make a magic seed of that element. She continues. Those seeds are also used as magical crystals, that is, they can be used to empower someone. However, the magic seeds also require a part of the vital energies of those who create them, and that is why people generally avoid making such seeds as that make their lives short. Then Lust looks at Fallen Angel. Did she give you the life seed? Of course not. She responds. She said she would only help me when he and his sisters returned safely to their homeworld. And if anything happened to them in this world, she would make me wish I was dead. Lucien smiles as he thinks that his mother seems to be a fascinating person. He takes another apple from the apple tree and tosses it to the fallen angel. She quickly picks up the apple, and he speaks. No matter how we get here, we have the same goals and are on the same team, so we should cooperate. I just have to keep an eye on you, so I'm not going to cooperate with you. She responds before bites the apple, which is the most fragrant apple she has ever tasted. Lucien smiles as he shakes his head. You look like a smart woman, but you really aren't. The insults again. You are quite predictable. She responds while making an expression of disdain. He makes a sorry expression. I didn't mean to insult you but rather to open your eyes to what you don't want to see. Boring. She rolls her eyes. Say it right away, and I'll be watching you from afar as always. Lucien looks at Daisy before looking at Fallen Angel again. Daisy told me that your situation is similar to hers and that both of you may not have much time alive. He quickly continues. That mysterious woman gave you a mission in exchange for her help, but she gave you nothing to help you right now. Also, we believe that she said to Lust and her sisters for us to return to our world after 10 years. But you don't believe it anymore. The fallen angel responds while reflecting on his words. Indeed. He responds. However, I know that we are not yet ready to return. Even if that woman is not my mother and she still needs my help, I still need to get stronger and find a way to take my troops to my world. He takes out of his storage ring that black feather he found. In any case, time is running, and your situation is getting worse. That woman is smart enough to know that you could die before completing your mission, just as she should have known that we would get strong quickly. Lust makes a thoughtful expression while looking at Fallen Angel. You should be at the immortal realm at your best, but what now? You look really bad, and you know that Lucien and Donna could kill you right now. That is. Lucien comments. That woman knew that you would be useful at first but would soon become expendable. And you still think she would come back here after all to give you the life seed? Let alone the fact that the life seed alone may not be enough to save you. I mean, you would have a great source of life mana, but without the right skills, you wouldn't have good chances. Lust compliments. The fallen angel is very confused because Lucien and Lust's words make sense. But then she looks at Daisy. I was going to take the life seed to Daisy, and she could save both of us. The mature vampire smiles because she knows that the fallen angel is honest. But Lucien shakes his head while making an expression of denial at the fallen angel. Daisy is actually the best proof that you're wrong about that. Then he explains. That woman planned her coming here, she knew I would find her and needs her help with many things. Daisy is my mother-in-law, and I will do anything to help her. Now that Sophia is back, our life mana is very powerful, and we are going to help Daisy. But what about you? You are just an annoying person who peeks on my women and me. We shouldn't have sympathy for you, and you would rot in the shadows before that woman come back to give you the life seed. Lucien speaks in a cold tone. The fallen angel makes an angry and then sad expression because Lucien's words make sense. She was so hopeful that she didn't see how wrong that deal looked. So. Was everything a lie? She thinks out loud. Lucien shakes his head. I don't think so. Think about it, did that woman say she would give you the life seed? She thinks. She said she could help me and showed me the life seed. Then the fallen angel realizes that something was wrong. If she wouldn't give me the life seed, how would she help me? Lucien explains. Daisy is the best example again. We will heal her, so that woman probably knew that when we got strong, we would find out about you and help you too. The fact that this is all happening at the same time was probably planned by that woman as well. The fallen angel makes an even more confused expression. But. You said you shouldn't have any sympathy for me. I just peeked on you. Why? Did I mention that you are adorable? He smiles as Donna rolls her eyes. Chapter 393. Such a frustration. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The fallen angel looks at Lucien with a fake contempt expression while trying to contain her embarrassment. I saw you seduce each of your wives like that, so do you really think these stupid tricks are going to work on me? Lucien makes a false sad expression. Don't you think it's unfair that you know so much about me and I don't know anything about you? Unfair is the fact that you have seduced so many good women. They don't know what awaits them. That mysterious woman is really a bad person, and you are a devil. She comments. He sighs. If dialogue and cooperation between us are impossible and you really think so badly of me, I can't let anyone hostile to me continue to watch me from the shadows. Donna's great axe appears in her hand as she stands up, excitedly smiling. I want to crush her skull already. Wait. Daisy steps in front of Lucien and looks at him with an imploring expression. I told you everything about me. She and I have been friends for a long time, and I know that she is not a danger to us. Tisk. Wrath makes a mocking sound. She's a stupid rotten angel who clearly hates us and is only trying to save herself. Pride would have killed her already. Lucien looks into Daisy's eyes. I tried to cooperate with her, but she clearly doesn't want to do that. Daisy looks at Fallen Angel with a concerned expression. You know that demons don't spare their enemies. You don't have to be their enemy, or rather, our enemy. The Fallen Angel looks Daisy in the eye. She can see that the mature vampire already sees Lucien as part of her family, and if they fight, Daisy will not be on her side. She still thinks that Lucien, the Sins, and especially the mysterious woman are very dangerous people, and being around them will not bring more bad things than good. However, she and Daisy still need their help to continue living. Helena. The Fallen Angel speaks in a low, timid tone while looking at Daisy. My name is Helena Caudenus. I'm sorry for not telling it to you before. Tisk. Donna sits back down while making a sad expression. She thought she would have a good fight alongside Lucien, but unfortunately, the Fallen Angel seems to want to cooperate. That is a beautiful name. Daisy smiles at Helena and holds her hand. Now, don't let them think that you are hostile to us. Helena looks at Lucien, still with an upset expression. You know that I can't do anything bad to you and your group as that would result in that scary woman killing me. Yet, I don't know if cooperating with you won't get me to the same end. Lucien looks into her eyes. Whether my mother or not, that woman knew that we would soon find out about you. The Sins are already amazing with limited energy, let alone the fact that we are getting stronger so quickly. He bites an apple at the same time as Helena, and then he continues. That woman knew we were going to have a conversation like this, but what we're going to do next is up to you. Why do you want to help me? Helena asks, even though she already has an idea of what Lucien will say. Just as she imagined, he seductively smiles. You are of no use to me dead, but alive. Someone with your power and abilities could be an excellent addition to my group. She keeps an upset expression. Don't you fear that I will leave after you help me? Where would you go? He sarcastically asks. You owe nothing to the gods and our people, nor would they want you back. You owe the mysterious woman nothing because you protected me while I was too weak to do that myself. He continues. You have nowhere to go. Everything you want is a cure for your condition, and then you will have nothing. What I am offering you is not only a cure but also power and a fresh start, a new and exciting life with me. Helena sighs. I really want to believe you, Lucien. I saw how you treat your women, troops, and allies. I know that although you are not a good person for everyone else, you are excellent for those who cooperate with you. Then she makes a sad expression. But the truth is, that you can't offer me a new life while you don't even have your own life. I mean, everything you do is what that woman planned for you. Every step you give is because she wanted it that way. Bullshit. Donna comments. Do you see someone forcing us to do anything now? We're doing it this way because we want to, and not even our father has any more control over us anymore. Lucien sighs. Maybe she is right. We think we want to do things like this, but it is likely that we have all been manipulated for a long time to know what we really want and what that woman made us want. Then he looks at Helena. Yet, she has no way of always predicting everything that will happen. And she seems to want to help us get stronger. Even though you know a lot about us, you don't know what me, my sisters, and the Sins can do together. Soon we will be so powerful that even that woman will not be able to face us alone. Also. His eyes sparkle with an expectant glow. If that woman is really my mom, she should want the best for us. And if she's so powerful, why wouldn't you want to be on her team? Daisy smiles and extends her hand to Helena. Everything he said makes sense to me. So, please, accept our help and stay with us. If you can't trust him, trust me. Helena sighs. Okay. But this will have to be my way. Lucien. Daisy looks at him while holding Helena's hand. I'm listening. He comments. Helena looks at him with a determined expression. I accept your help, but it will have to be the first method because I will not let you touch my body. What if it doesn't work? I don't really care if you die, you know. Lucien comments as he bites an apple. Daisy looks at Lucien and then Helena with a curious and concerned expression. What is the second method? He wants to fuck you. Helene quickly responds. What? Daisy looks at Lucien with a perplexed expression. Lucien. You know I can't do that with you. I love my husband. He sighs. I said we were going to try the first method before. But we have to be prepared if it fails. Would you rather die than have sex with me a few times? Few time. Daisy panics while her mind can't help but imagine that, which makes her feel really bad. That would destroy my marriage. Several times would be better. Lust comments as she provocatively smiles. She cannot believe that women are trying so hard not to have something they will all want more than anything sooner or later. Lucien also feels bad about Daisy's situation. With Cassidy, the circumstances were quite different because she was single, and he didn't think much about anything but rescuing his mother. Now he has a big family to look after, and their needs are not just sexuals. Destroying Daisy's marriage would be very bad for everyone, especially for Rose. Still, what is at risk now is Daisy's life, so Lucien will not hesitate to help her. Think of your husband. Would he rather see you dead than allow us? You can see it as a peculiar healing session and nothing more. If your husband really loves you, that shouldn't change anything. Donna comments. I mean, you would live, and you could continue to love each other, which would be impossible if you died. Daisy cannot deny that form of reasoning, but in a situation like that, it is not easy to think properly. Lucien. Do you understand how a man feels about his wife? So tell me, if you were in such a situation, would you let your wife have such a peculiar healing session with another man? Lucien quickly responds. I can't answer that question. Why? Daisy asks again. Because if my wives were in such a situation, I would find a way to cure them without them having to do such a thing. He explains. Then he continues. If you tell me that your husband is now trying to do everything to heal you and not taking care of his stuff and his people, we can forget that I mentioned a second method. Daisy is silent because she knows that her husband is leading the group that is repairing their city after those dragons attack them, that is, as always, he is focused on helping his people. She explained her situation to him and also asked him not to try anything, after all, he is a usual person from an inferior world. However, Daisy knows that if Lucien were in her husband's place, no matter how much she begged him to do nothing, he would still try everything to help her, or he would die trying. Lucien can see that Daisy is suffering a lot by thinking about that, so he kindly speaks. The first method, Daisy. You must hope that Sophia will be able to help you, especially because I will do my best to boost her with my demonic energy. Yes. Daisy smiles at Lucien as she can see that he just tries to help her and doesn't really want to destroy her marriage. The first method has to work, if not. While Daisy seems to be trying to think positive, Lucien looks at Helena. As for you. Well, you know me well, so you know that you will be mine sooner or later. You overestimate yourself. She makes an upset expression. He smiles. You can make things difficult, I like a challenge. But this time that we are going to lose, it will be a time that you will regret having lost when you realize in the future that you could be much more powerful if you had not been so stubborn. I'd rather lose all my feathers than give my body to a stupid demon. Helene snorts as she remembers all the times she saw Lucien having sex with his women. She is very angry with him for that, especially for making her feel that strange. I would believe you if you weren't that flushed. Lucien laughs. Helena quickly covers her face with her hands and turns around. No way. I'm not blushing. I'm mad at you, idiot. I'm red with anger. Wrath shakes her head with an expression of disappointment. Nah, unfortunately, this is not anger but frustration, and it does not help at all. Lust also laughs. It's so obvious. 1200 years of being a virgin, so you are forced to watch the most attractive man in the universe having sex many times every day. Of course she is sexually frustrated. That sucks. Daisy is really sorry for Helene. She knows that she would be madly frustrated by just seeing Lucien's naked body a few times, let alone see that many days. Meanwhile, Donna is also frustrated by the fact that Helena, a woman that Lucien met just ago, already knows much more about his body than she, his sister. Wait. Is that something a sister should know? She is confused. Hashtag 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 hashtag. If you want to support me and read more than 150 chapters ahead, visit my Patreon. Patreon.com/LamentHief. You can also donate to my Ko-fi. ko.fi.com/LamentHief. Any donation helps me a lot and allows me to continue writing. Chapter 394. Not a time for questions. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Helena's face gets completely red as she is more embarrassed than ever. Then she pouts and stomps her foot on the ground. I have no such frustration. Lucien can't help but laugh at her cute reaction as he mentally talks to Lust. She looks like a child. Is she really 1200 years old? Lust quickly responds. Age is just a number, and it does not mean that she is mature. In fact, she is still too young for a person who is supposed to have been born already in the mortal realm due to the power of her parents. The more power someone has, the greater their longevity is, and so they have different notions of time, taking much more time to mature mentally. He smiles at Helena and Daisy. Your sexual life and marriage are not at risk here. I'm pretty sure Sophia can heal you, so you don't have to do something as horrible as having sex with me. Tisk. Donna and Wrath make mocking sounds because even they, who don't think much about sex, already understood that having sex with Lucien is one of the best things there is, so they can't help but find that situation bizarre that Daisy and Helena make it look bad. Lust just smiles because although she thinks that Daisy and Helena can bring many benefits to Lucien due to their high power level, she still prefers not to have more women to share his affection with. Yet, she knows that it is impossible for any woman to spend a long time with Lucien and not fall in love with him due to various reasons. Daisy makes a sorry expression as she thinks. He's just trying to help me, and I'm making it look awful. Having sex with him to heal me shouldn't change anything, and my husband should accept. Damn. What am I thinking? Helena, still turned on her back, speaks to Lucien. Don't talk about it anymore. Also, I'm not going to keep protecting you. As you said, you are already very strong, and you can protect yourself. Lucien sighs. Okay, little angel. We will speak to Sophia right after the ceremony. Don't call me like that. I'm not an angel anymore. Helena stutters while she feels strange by the tender way that Lucien spoke to her. She has heard him say like that to so many women, and she thought she would be immune to his charm, but things are not so simple. All right, he responds and then looks at Donna and Daisy. Clovis is close, and I wanted to talk to him. I have to go back to help Rose with the clothes, makeup, and everything for the ceremony, Daisy responds. Lucien smiles at Donna, and she makes an upset expression. Do I really have to take care of this stupid angel? I'll make it up to you later. He responds. You already owe me an irrefutable request. She comments. This will be the second. He responds. Deal. She smiles. Helena turns and looks at Lucien with an upset expression. I don't need anyone to take care of me. I was going very well hidden. He gently smiles at her. You better be around now, and Donna has nothing else to do either. Donna tosses another apple at Helena, and both look at each other with neutral expressions, which is better than a hostile mood. Then Lucien walks towards the east. See you later. The girls look at his back with thoughtful expressions until he disappears among the apple trees. He reacted better than I expected. Daisy comments. Helena shakes her head with a sad expression. Not really. Donna sighs. Yes. There is no way he can be well after learning that his mother may be manipulating him since the beginning. So, is he pretending? Daisy is confused. She thought she could understand people well, but she now doubts that. Neither, Helena responds. She watched Lucien for a few months, but that was enough for her to understand a lot about him. Donna sighs. He must be distraught, but he has to continue to act confidently because a lot of people depend on him. But he should be able to be furious or sad just like everyone else. Daisy comments. Wrath materializes her body next to Donna. Not everyone can be furious at any time. Helena nods and looks at Daisy. If he got angry or depressed now, he wouldn't be able to focus on healing you. And if something bad happened to you, it would affect Rose, thus affecting him and all his women. That is, even if his group members are in trouble, he has to continue being the unshakable link so that everything does not break. Donna smiles. My brother really grew up. Wrath rolls her eyes. Maybe he's not that bad. Helena makes a concerned expression. Yes, he is not that bad, but that woman is. Anyone who approaches him has to be prepared for whatever that woman has planned. Daisy provocatively smiles at Helena. So that stupid demon talk was just because you are afraid of his mom. Humph. The little fallen angel pouts. What about you? You are scared of him because every 1 second you stay next to him, you feel your love for your husband disappearing. Daisy doesn't answer that question and starts to float back to Laura's house. I have to return. See you later. Donna and Helena look at each other in silence while eating their apples. Wrath smiles. What about a sparring session? Punching someone else in the face is always good. After walking in silence for a while, Lucien sees Clovis half a mile away. He looks so happy as he collects apples to make wine and juice. His calm expression is that of a person who doesn't have to worry too much about anything other than after his plantation and his only wife. Do you envy his simple life? Lust asks in Lucien's mind. He reflects on that question. I don't know. I don't regret anything, but things are getting so complicated. I just wanted to rescue my mother, but maybe she was never in danger, yet more problems keep showing up. Lust, more than anyone, knows how Lucien feels. I understand that things don't look easy, but they are not that bad. I mean, even if your mom is planning something big for all of us, the universe will still be the same. She continues. Power is the only thing that matters. Everyone does everything to get stronger, but few manage to keep evolving. To achieve high realms, you need incredible techniques, powerful inheritances, and infinite treasures. Well, for most people. But for you, all you need is to give pleasure to women who in return will give you a lot of pleasure too. I know it's not easy to always be strong and loving for so many women, but this is your method of getting stronger, and you only need that. She materializes her body in front of him and kisses him. No matter who is planning anything to us or if your mom is manipulating us. When you get to the top of all power and take your wives with you, you will be the only one to decide how things are going to be, and your women will respect all your decisions because you were always the best for them. Lucien caresses Lust's face and neck as he kisses her passionately. It looks like a good future. She stops kissing and smiles lovingly. If you're upset that you can't change something right now, it's because you don't have the power to do it, but when we have more power than any force in the universe, you will be able to solve any problem, or rather, there will be no problem. Yes. He nods while stroking her hair. Now is not the time to think about what we cannot change. Exactly. She responds. We are getting strong quickly, but we can improve. You have to focus on making your girls stronger, but for that, you also have to feel good, or they will feel it when you are sad. Lucien's mind is in a mess. He struggles to try to push all those questions about his mother to the back of his mind, but that is not so simple. Perhaps his whole life has been a lie created by a woman he no longer knows if was really real or fake. However, at the same time, he agrees with Lust that only power will give him answers and options. To protect those he loves and discover the whole truth about that mysterious woman, he needs to get stronger. And to get stronger, he needs to keep doing what he does best. Let's go. He comments as he walks over to Clovis. Clovis hears someone approaching with heavy steps and looks back. Then he sees Lucien. Oh, it is you, my best son. Law. Lucien laughs. Have you had another son? Law before? Ha ha ha. Clovis starts to laugh too. Are you jealous? They approach and tap each other on the shoulder before Lucien speaks. Maybe. Anyway, the plantation seems to be going very well. Clovis takes out 2 bottles of apple wine from his magic backpack, a storage treasure much simpler than jewelry treasures and with a few meters of internal space. He gives Lucien a bottle and starts drinking his one while looking at the apple trees. Taking care of this plantation is very simple. I really like this life. I think some people are destined for simple and calm lives, while others cannot avoid being so great, and of course, they have to work hard because of that. Indeed, my good father. Law. Lucien agrees with Clovis's words and raises his bottle. A toast to the simple and also the complicated lives. Clovis touches his bottle to Lucien's, making a glass sound. Yeah, a toast to the lives we love. They drink all the wine from their bottles while just looking at the apple trees in silence as they don't really have much to talk about. You have nothing to do because your wives are busy, right? I know how it feels because I felt that way on the day of my ceremony too. Clovis comments. I actually have some things to do. Lucien responds. I came to see if you could sell me some wine bottles. Clovis quickly shakes his head. I couldn't charge you anything for them. Lucien looks at him with a concerned expression. I don't want to cause any problems, and I really want a lot of bottles. It really won't be a problem. Clovis laughed. Before, I used to sell wine and juice to travelers in exchange for gold to exchange for other resources with other travelers, but now the situation of the alliance is excellent because of Eve, so we have everything in abundance. So, there is no problem with me giving you as many bottles of wine as you need. I see. I'm going to need 100 bottles then. Lucien asks. Oh. Clovis is curious about why Lucien wants so much wine some hours before his ceremony, where he will take a lot of wine for everyone. Are you going to have a party or something? Something like that. Lucien smiles mysteriously, making Clovis just more curious. Clovis quickly gives Lucien the 100 bottles of wine, and he keeps them in his storage ring. Then he thanks his father. In law before flying towards the city. As Lucien flies over the city, he hears Lust's voice in his mind. I am also curious about this. Are we going to have a party before the ceremony? Yeah. Lucien responds as he sees Arya and Ella flying towards the western part of the city. And there are our first guests. Hashtag 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 hashtag. If you want to support me and read more than 150 chapters ahead, visit my Patreon. Patreon.com/LamentHief. You can also donate to my Ko-fi. ko.fi.com/LamentHief. Any donation helps me a lot and allows me to continue writing. Chapter 395. So much work, but also some fun. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Several minutes ago. Several Fox. Girls leave Lore's house and go to different places to do the things as she said. Most of them are messengers, while other ones have specific orders. Meanwhile, several other Fox. Girls arrive there, bringing different things, mainly tools for makeup and clothes. There is no more space inside Lore's house. Lucien certainly couldn't walk around the room as his big wings would drop things or drag several people there. In fact, Lore has removed all the usual furniture from the living room and Anne's bedroom to set several special chairs, where some of Lucien's wives are sitting on while Fox. Girls' hairdressers are treating their hair with natural products and manicurists are treating their feet and hands. Whoosh! A small Fox. Girl who appears to be only 12-13 comes running through the door and arrives in front of Lore after dodging everyone in the living room. Ha! Ha! The little girl tries to catch her breath while Lore makes a concerned expression. So she quickly reports. Mrs. Lore, my aunts are preparing all the dishes you ordered, but we do not have deer meat. The hunters have been requested, but we do not have a forecast of when they will get the requested quantity we need. Lore makes a sad expression. This is bad. It is a tradition that the brides eat deer meat at the ceremony. The little girl makes a thoughtful expression. My uncles could hunt deer, but they cannot use weapons due to. All the women around are silent and the little girl talks about the current condition of men. Of course, they are afraid of Eve, who is incredibly in the same house as them. Lore quickly closes the girl's mouth before she says something she shouldn't. It's alright, we're going to fix it. Eve obviously notices the situation and kindly smiles at Lore while doing a special hairstyle for Maggie. I can get the deers. All the girls are having fun while doing women's things, and Lucien's wives don't want to ruin Eve's fun, mainly because she doesn't seem to have had much fun in a long time. Neola, who is receiving treatment from manicurists, signals for them to stop and quickly gets up from her chair. I'm used to hunting in the forest, so I can get the deer quickly. Galena, who is treating Galana's hair, also offers to help. I am also a good hunter. We can do this even faster together. Galana smiles. Eve smiles too. Then the four of us will go. Those 3 archers could take down armies before they realized what happened, so the poor deers have no chance, let alone the fact that Eve is going with them, so even Lore knows that they will be quick and that it will not hinder them from getting ready for the ceremony. As the new hunting party heads for the forest, Eve smiles at the little messenger. Let your aunts know that the deers will be delivered in an hour. The girl nods and returns to tell her aunts, who are in charge of preparing the food. She doesn't know that Eve is that Queen Eve and continues to act normally while the people around her are still tense. As soon as they leave Lore's house, a Fox. Woman runs in and falls after bumping into a chair. From her concerned expression, Lore already knows that she brings bad news too. What is the problem? Lore asks as she helps the woman to get up. The woman quickly explains. Mrs. Lore. The dressmakers are doing everything to prepare the most beautiful dresses possible since yesterday, but we ran out of silk of some colors. Have you ordered more sewing threads yet? Lore asks. The woman nods. Yes. However, there were not all the colored silk in the warehouse, so he will have to get it at Applin Village. Lore makes a concerned expression as Applin Village is almost 50 miles to the north. It will take a while for them to return from there. Lucien's wives hear Lore's comment and quickly think of asking him to bring the silk, but then Arya offers to help. I'm not as fast as hubby and Eve, but I can go there quickly. I'm going too, Ella speaks. They are not among the strongest girls in the group, but they are definitely the fastest flying, only losing to the Sins, Lucien, and Eve. Let hubby know about that, too. Cassidy comments. Lore quickly explains to them who to look for in Applin Village to get the silk, and they quickly leave the house and fly north while mentally telling Lucien about that. As soon as they leave, several Fox. Girls enter the house with beautiful ornate clay pots. Lore smiles. They look amazing. Since there have no problems with the clay pots, Lore fears that the problem is with the flowers and feathers, so she looks at Lucien's wives. Everyone has the chosen flower and feather, right? The girls quickly nod, but then Amelia looks at Dawn with a sorry expression. I'm sorry, my friend. I forgot that you didn't have time to pick up a flower. Angela smiles as Dawn blushes. Then she takes a beautiful yellow and white rose from her storage ring. I just thought it was beautiful. I didn't know I was going to do the ceremony too. I don't want much, and I'll be happy just if he takes care of me. The other girls smile, and Cassidy takes out many gray feathers from her storage ring. Yes, we have the flowers and feathers. All other women there get surprised by the glow of those gray feathers that look magical. Lore takes one and looks at it closely. These feathers look so nice. From what bird did you get it? Envy materializes her body while laughing. Of the stupidest birds in the universe. While preparations for the ceremony are going well under Lore's leadership and the girls help, Arya and Ella fly towards Applin Village to get more silk. After Arya told Lucien about that, he said he would accompany them to Applin Village. Arya thought it was normal because he is really overprotective. But without any warning, she and Ella are hugged in the air by Lucien, who quickly flies up with both harpy girls in his arms and enters the portal he opens. Ha ha ha. Lucien. Arya laughs as he kisses her on the lips and neck still inside the portal. At the same time, he squeezes Ella's firm ass and soon starts kissing her too, making her feel very good and let out cute moans. Hubby. Lucien kisses and caresses Arya and Ella until they arrive at the purple world and fall directly onto his big bed. He continues to kiss their lips and bodies as he begins to remove their clothes. Arya is delighted that she can spend time alone with him. Well, she's with Ella too, but usually, the love sessions have lots of girls together, and they can't help but appreciate it when they're alone with him. Still, she also knows that they have a lot of work until the night, so Arya speaks between moans. Hubby. This looks great. Ah. But. We have to. Lucien stops kissing but continues to remove their clothes. The silk, I know. I can get it in less than 10 minutes, so let's enjoy some time alone, okay? Arya knows about Lucien's incredible speed, so she has no problem spending time with him and letting him get the silk quickly. And well, she wouldn't be able to stop now until her body is satisfied. Ella, on the other hand, can no longer think of anything else. She takes Lucien's hand up to her panties while she closes her eyes and just enjoys his touch. Lucien rips Ella's panties and begins to kiss her little pussy while delighting in her perfume. Probably because she is the youngest girl he had sex with, she still smells like a pure virgin. Ella moans as her pussy produces a lot of love juices, which he excitedly drinks. Arya starts to caress Lucien's body and tries to change position to suck his cock, but he puts her lying next to Ella and also removes her panties. Let me take care of you two first. He speaks lovingly and starts kissing Arya's pussy, too, making mom and daughter moan in sync. He already had time alone with them after their first time, but now, having them both like that makes it really feel like their first time. Having a mother and daughter, beautiful women with opposite characteristics like the fact that Ella has all that youthful air and Arya all that incredible mature flavor makes having sex with them something incredible and that Lucien loves a lot. After taking a sip of Ella's nectar, he also drinks Arya's nectar, and those both delicious flavors become something even better in his mouth. The girls come a lot while loudly moaning, but their bodies want more, much more. And, of course, Lucien gives them a lot of pleasure while he feels just as well. Ah! An hour later, after coming so many times with a hard love session, Arya and Ella lie on Lucien's chest while trying to catch their breath for more rounds. His life mana continues to make them feel invigorated, but as they received a lot of demonic energy due to Lucien being focused in them alone and now have a much more powerful demonic energy for being almost in the 9th layer of the mortal realm, Arya and Ella's bodies need of a rest to absorb all that power, which will certainly make them have a great advance in power. Both Harpy girls have beautiful, satisfied smiles as they kiss Lucien's chest. All that power running inside their bodies and making them feel so strong is just secondary to them while having so much of his love is what makes them feel so happy. And, of course, Arya and Ella lost the notion of time while all they can think about now is to remain in his arms. Lucien smiles as he strokes his girls, so he kisses them on the forehead. I have to go get the silk now. Arya looks at her body covered with love marks. Oh, we have to take a bath, or the other girls will be jealous. Enjoy the extra time here, Lucien comments as he picks up his underwear and leaves the purple world. Due to the time difference, not even half an hour has passed in the normal world. Still in the air, he starts to wear clean clothes, but then lust materializes her body in front of him. Wait. This is a good opportunity for us to try something new. Before he asks what she's talking about, Lust explains. It's quite simple, you can materialize clothes using demonic energy as I do. I didn't tell you about it before because it would be dangerous to be using the energy to make clothes. Isn't that still bad? I mean, isn't it better if I keep the demonic energy to fight? He asks. Lust quickly responds. It's certainly not a good thing to waste it, but now you have a lot of demonic energy, and it's generating more and more, so materializing clothes won't make you weaker. Then she starts stroking his cock over his underwear. Also, you will see that this is much more practical, just materialize clothes. Lucien can't help but find that really good, mainly because the girls often tear his clothes and they have to fix it later. Of course, some of them, like Angela and Rebecca, enjoy making clothes for him, but they can keep doing it while he materializes clothes when he has a short time to wear them. Is this how I materialize those energy chains? He asks while remembering the chains he usually creates during hard sex with envy. Lust nods. Yes, you just have to imagine what you want your demonic energy to become and focus on it. I see. Lucien responds as he tries to imagine what kind of clothes he wants. Well, he likes clothes that don't limit his movements and aren't tight, especially in the groin area. Hashtag 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 hashtag. If you want to support me and read more than 150 chapters ahead, visit my Patreon. Patreon.com/LamentHief. You can also donate to my Ko-fi. Ko. fi.com/LamentHief. Any donation helps me a lot and allows me to continue writing. Chapter 396. The party must go on. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Purple energies begin to rotate around Lucien as he focuses on his demonic energy to materialize clothes as Lust does. She wonders what kind of clothes he will imagine. A black armor like mine would look great on him. Of course, covering more parts of his body. Maybe dark cuirass with purple thorns. Lust imagines several incredible armor designs, but thus the purple glow around his body quickly fades, leaving just underpants of elastic fabric covering his intimate parts and a few centimeters of his thighs. She doesn't say anything, but the expression of disappointment is visible on her face. What? Didn't you like it? Lucien smiles as he strokes Lust's face. I expect something more. She responds while trying not to look pessimistic. Just the fact that he managed to materialize a piece of clothing so quickly should be a reason for celebration. Well, she already expected that due to the high control he has over his demonic energy. Lucien looks at his super comfortable new underwear. This is great. I am not really comfortable with most underwear, but I can adjust the size of this one perfectly. Also, its fabric can be as comfortable as I want. Lust smiles because Lucien is happy with the new skill. Yet, you will still be walking around naked, and you know that is going to mess with all women around. He kisses her lips while smiling. I'm going to be flying at super speed right now, so I don't think anyone will notice my clothes. She finds it difficult to think of anything while feeling so good in his arms, but she still makes a thoughtful expression. What if there are more of your mother's pawns watching you from afar? He continues to kiss her lips, cheek, and neck. Then they will be women, and no matter what their age or power level, after seeing what we do every day, there is no way they can be well. You saw how frustrated Helena's body is. She couldn't stand away as an observer anymore. That's why she came to me easily when I called her, and she will also come to my bed when I call her for that. Lust holds Lucien's face and looks him in the eye. You're getting overconfident. But. Yes, Helena got that way by seeing the naughty things we do every day. Also, I also agree that it doesn't matter how many pawns your mother has, if they are all women, you can bring them all to our group and make them loyal only to you. Exactly. Lucien kisses Lust again and speaks in her mind. Now I have to get the silk for the girls. She dematerializes her body, and he flaps his wings, flying northwards at super speed. To see his new capabilities of a person of the 8th layer, or better, almost the 9th layer of the mortal realm, Lucien focuses a lot of demonic energy and highly boosts his speed. Whsoosh, he crosses the sky, making his way through the clouds at an incredibly high speed. That is certainly the highest speed that someone from both mortal realm and earth realm has ever flown. In fact, he is at the same current speed as Eve, who is probably the most powerful person in the first layer of the sky realm who has ever existed due to her being a pride host and being under the influence of the bloody rose at the same time. Even Lust is again surprised by the incredible power that Lucien can achieve still in the mortal realm, just using the mix of demonic energies of 3 sins. She is eager to see what he will be able to do when he gets the 7 different demonic energies. At that moment, power levels will mean nothing to him. She thinks while she is very happy that his personal development is as incredible as that of his women. Before Lust realizes it, they are already arriving at Applin village. A journey that usually takes a few hours was made in less than 4 minutes. She speaks in his mind. You can walk around naked if you want, but make sure you wear good clothes at the time of the ceremony. Yes, my lady. He quickly responds as he flies down to the village. Lucien quickly finds the warehouse with the silks, and the woman in the lead gives him a lot of silk without asking for anything in return. Of course, everyone already knows that he is Eve's brother because the news has been circulating since the previous day. Then he quickly returns to the main Fox.Clan village in less than 5 minutes. Just as he promised Arya, he took the silk in less than 10 minutes. He opens the purple world portal and brings Arya and Ella back to the normal world. He gives her a storage ring filled with silk, and they take it to the dressmakers after kissing him many times. As the cute harpy girls fly away from Lucien, Lust materializes her body in his arms. So, is the party going on? Lucien takes a bottle of apple wine and takes a sip while looking at the city from the sky. Of course. Let's find more girls to join us. He begins to fly above the city and quickly notices Rebecca helping some Fox. Girls to prepare the main courtyard for the ceremony. The group is doing several things like positioning benches, decorating, and cleaning up the place. Whoosh! As soon as Lucien lands in the middle of that courtyard wearing nothing but his underwear, he catches the attention of all the women around him. Those poor Fox. Girls, especially the virgins one, panic while they are excited and embarrassed, not knowing whether to look at him or not. Even focused on her work, Rebecca notices when everyone starts looking behind her with impressed expressions. She looks back and sees Lucien lovingly smiling at her. She can't help but smile, too, while thanking herself for making the wise decision to follow him. Hubby. I just came to help them with some hard work. Rebecca says in an embarrassed tone. She is not lying, but Lucien can see that she is hiding something. He continues to smile as he walks towards her. He takes another sip of wine and passes the bottle to Rebecca. She also drinks a big sip of wine while the Fox. Girls around them envy her. They really want to be able to drink from that bottle to taste his saliva. Does Laure know you ran away? Lucien asks as he strokes Rebecca's hair. He can see that her hair looks a bit tidy as if she left it in the middle of the hair treatment. Rebecca shakes her head as she blushes. No. I left without her realizing it. There are so many women there, and makeup and hair treatments are not my things. I wanted to help where there is hard work. Lucien strokes her neck and kisses her forehead. I know, my dear. You don't even seem to like baths. She gets even more embarrassed as she taps his chest and makes a fake upset expression. That's a lie. I like bathing. It's just I'm usually doing hard work, and I end up getting dirty. Sure. He slowly raises her chin and kisses her on the lips, making the hearts of the Fox. Girls around explode with joy. Most of them have never seen such an exciting scene before. Rebecca usually acts with a lot of initiative, especially during sex, but she can only do that when they are at their house and around their family. In a public area with many people looking at them, she is shy. She shyly strokes his waist while looking down. Nice underwear. But you're torturing these girls like that. Lucien laughs as he kisses her cheek. They are enjoying the show. But if you want to go somewhere else, we can take a bath or do some other kind of hard work. Alone? Rebecca asks with an excited expression. They have times alone sometimes, but that is always a much appreciated opportunity. Yeah. He seductively whispers in her ear. I mean, you, Lust, and me. Lust and Lucien are together in a different way than anything, so his wives already consider being alone with him as well as being with her. Also, when he is alone with one or a few girls, Lust always stays in his soul for a while, giving them that moment really alone, which makes them grateful and respectful to her. Rebecca makes a sound of agreement, and then Lucien smiles at the Fox. Girls around them before flying to the sky with her in his arms. Ha 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 ha. She laughs as he flies at high speed, kissing and caressing her body. Most of his wives love to fly in her arms like that, except for a few who don't like to be off the ground very much. Lucien flies above the city for a minute before entering the portal to the purple world. He continues to kiss and caress Rebecca until they leave the portal above their house. Yet, he does not go to the house but towards the large floating rock next to the one where the house is. There is a large forest above that floating rock, where he usually does morning exercises with Oya. Rebecca doesn't ask where they are going because she just enjoys that moment with him. But as soon as they fly over that forest, arriving at a big waterfall, she understands why he took her there. It's beautiful. She smiles as she enjoys the scene. The waterfall is 20 meters high, and the crystal clear water goes into a natural pool while before it flows out through a small stream. The place is not as big as the main bathroom in their house, but it seems like a nice place for few people to enjoy at the same time. You are more beautiful, my love," Lucien speaks before kissing her lips as he flies down to the top of the waterfall. Rebecca hugs Lucien tightly and wraps her legs around his waist. Then he jumps on the waterfall on his back, keeping her on top of him. Splash! They jump together in the waterfall, and the flowing water pushes them to the edge. Then they fall from that 20 meters straight into the natural pool, splashing water everywhere. As they kiss inside the water, Lucien dematerializes his underwear while removing Rebecca's clothes. Without stopping kissing, she moves her hands to his groin and starts to stroke his cock and balls. The fact that she has sex with him every day does not prevent her from craving his body the rest of the time. After leaving her naked, Lucien holds both her lovely buttocks and pulls her body against his, pressing his cock against her belly as they kiss more and more passionately. Lucien gives oxygen to her through the kiss for a few minutes until he needs to breathe as well. Then he goes back to the surface of the natural pool. Ah! As soon as they breathe, Rebecca moans due to Lucien's caresses, and he seals her lips again. Holding her, he moves to the wall of the waterfall and rests her body against the rock while the water falls on his back. In that position, their bodies' tops are out of the water, which just hits his back and wings. So adorable. Lucien comments as he strokes Rebecca's face. The water dripping through her wet hair and flushed face makes her look even hotter. And she thinks the same about him, who always looks hotter and hotter in any situation. Without wasting time, he opens her legs and penetrates his cock into her love cave, which is extremely warm and comfortable even while they are in the cold water of that waterfall. Oh! She loudly moans as she feels Lucien's hard and hot rod give her a lot of pleasure. She is very comfortable in that position, while despite being under the waterfall, Lucien is protecting her with his body, allowing her to do whatever she wants, like kissing and caressing his sexy and perfect chest. In that forest that has no other living being besides Lucien and Rebecca, her pleasure moans echo everywhere while not even the sound of the water falling 20 meters away can silence the music that Lucien loves most. Hashtag 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 hashtag. If you want to support me and read more than 150 chapters ahead, visit my Patreon. Patreon.com/LamentHief. You can also donate to my Ko-fi. ko.fi.com/LamentHief. Any donation helps me a lot and allows me to continue writing. Chapter 397. Ninth Layer of the Mortal Realm. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. After having a great time with Rebecca, Lucien had more moments like that with others of his wives and even spent some minutes just talking to Dawn. Not only did the girls got a lot of his demonic energy, but he also got stronger, officially reaching the 9th layer of the mortal realm. But no matter how many times he had sex or how much apple wine he drank, Lucien kept thinking about Daisy and Helena's situation. He has liked Daisy since the first moment they met, and her personality makes him like her more and more, besides the fact that she is very important to Rose and he needs her help a lot. And he cares about Helena even though he didn't say that to her. Although she didn't really save him, she helped him by giving him that golden bow and that gold chest that was very useful for him at the beginning of his journey. And, of course, she can be a great addition to his group. Ah! You messed up all my makeup. Cassidy sighs as she lies on Lucien's chest alongside Mia. Yeah, that wasn't cool. Mia giggles while she kisses his chest. Lust materializes her body in front of the bed. You have to get ready as it is almost time for the ceremony. Cassidy quickly gets up from the bed and looks in a mirror on the bedroom wall. Oh, it looks like my hair is still fine. Then a white liquid oozes down her legs, making Lust shake her head. Lore will freak out if everyone isn't ready on time. I can bathe you. Lucien smiles as he strokes Mia's ass. No. Cassidy smiles at him. If we go into that bathroom together, we certainly won't be clean in time. Everyone agrees with that, and even Lucien knows that it is almost impossible to bathe with his girls without having sex several times before they actually get clean, especially when Mia is together. Mia pouts and makes a sad expression, but then she kisses Lucien before running to the bathroom with Cassidy. Lucien sits on the edge of the bed and starts to drink more wine while trying to deal with so many different thoughts. Lust looks at him with a loving expression. You know you can't get drunk due to your incredible regeneration, don't you? He drinks all the wine from that bottle and drops it on the floor. Yeah. At least I tried. She approaches him and kneels in front of him while stroking his leg. I know today was a difficult day because of everything we found out, but the girls are so happy as they get stronger, and so are you. Everything is going well, we just have to keep so. I know. He responds as he strokes her beautiful blonde hair. Lust feels like moaning just for the affectionate way he strokes her hair. Yet, are you concerned about so many things? Is this thoughtful expression about Daisy? He nods. I want to ask her so many things. I need her help with the bloody rose, with the crystals, with portals. But do you fear falling in love with her? Lust asks and then laughs. It is obvious that you are attracted to her. I mean, she is a beautiful, sexy, intelligent, and loyal woman. An excellent mother. I can't let anything happen between us. He makes a concerned expression. Rose would be really sad, and Daisy would not forgive me for destroying her marriage. She sighs. But things can't go on like this either. You saw how sad her expression was when she talked about her husband not wanting to make a blood pact with her, right? That is disrespect to the vampires, and if others from her race found it out, they would try to kill him for such a transgression. I don't think she thinks like a vampire anymore. After everything that happened, she just wants to live in peace away from her people. He comments. Lust shakes her head. What happened to her was bad. The wrong in that situation was the prince, and that was her bad luck, but that doesn't mean that all vampires failed with her. Racial traits cannot be ignored. I'm sure many angels are not happy with their system, but that doesn't stop them from loving their wings. She continues. Not having a blood pact with her husband will always be a thorn in Daisy's heart. Also, after you heal her, and she sees how happy Rose is by drinking your blood, it will just be torturous for her. She needs a man to stand by her, support her, and satisfy her needs, unlike an idiot guy who is too focused on his own things to be a real husband. She finishes. Lucien caresses Lust's face with his hand and her lips with his fingers. As soon as we go to her home, I will talk to him. I will give him the option to make the blood pact with her and respect her needs. What if he refuses to do what is right? She asks as she kisses his hand. He smiles. Let's try the first option before, okay? If that doesn't work, I'll think about the next step. Lust jumps on top of Lucien and starts kissing his lips. She knows the best for Daisy and Rose and to be with him because that is the best for any woman. But she also knows that he cannot save all the women in the universe, even if they are powerful women who would make their group stronger. While Cassidy and Mia bathe, Lucien and Lust have a quick but enjoyable love session. And as soon as the girls are ready, he takes them back to Lore's house. There are hundreds of people around Lore's house and on the streets, everyone doing something to help her create the greatest ceremony ever in the entire alliance. As the sun goes down and the two moons rise to the sky, Lucien can hear his girls talking inside Lore's house. Everything seems almost ready, so he leaves Cassidy and Mia there before going to look for Donna and Helena. He quickly arrives at the apple plantation, and when focusing his hearing, he notices sounds of fighting almost 2 miles in the direction of the forest, as well as applause and people inspiring other people to fight. Really? Lucien thinks out loud as he quickly flies in the direction of the fight. He reaches the edge of the apple plantation area, where the forest begins. In a clearing, Donna and Helena fight unarmed while several Fox girls watch and cheer for them. Bam! Helena kicks Donna in the face, and although she doesn't wear shoes, that blow still seems to be quite painful. But Donna resists the pain and holds Helena's ankle before hitting her to the ground, also a painful blow. BAM, Helena is increasingly impressed by Donna's strength and endurance. She thought that only Lucien could fight people far above his power level, but now she understands that his sisters are amazing too. Well, she is very weak due to being in such a situation for a long time, but she still has the power equivalent to the medium stages of Sky Realm, while Donna is in the middle of the Earth Realm. Donna and Helena roll on the ground while continuing to punch each other. A dark feather falls beside them, and they notice Lucien picking it. They stop fighting and look up, immediately getting flushed, like the Fox. Girls around, when they see him only in his underwear. Lucien shakes his head with a disappointed expression. You both look like kids. Helena's face gets red as she stutters. A. and Y. You. You look like a P. Pervert. Donna laughs while she never tires of admiring Lucien's body. Don't you really like wearing clothes, my brother? Lucien sighs and then snaps his fingers, making purple smoke cover his body as he materializes more clothing pieces. The purple smoke quickly disappears, and the girls are really impressed to see him wearing a purple and black silk suit. Also, there are several black metal ornaments on his set, as well as gloves, boots with spikes, and a bat-wings-shaped bow tie. Then Lust materializes her body behind him as she floats in the air and combs his hair, leaving it neat and tying it in a stylish ponytail. What about now? Lucien seductively smiles, making the Fox. Girls almost burst with excitement. So handsome. Helena thinks. She already found Lucien naked extremely attractive, but it is also very good to see him wearing such stylish clothes and with a different hairstyle. Donna pushes the stunned Helena away and quickly gets up to analyze Lucien's new look closely. Damn amazing. I never thought you could look so. Hee hee. Then she quickly speaks to Wrath out loud. Will I be able to create clothes like that too? Wrath materializes her body in front of Lucien while also appreciating his look. Only when you have as much demonic energy as he does. Lucien stops smiling and looks at Donna and Helena with a stern expression. Why were you fighting? That expression added to his new look only makes the girls more excited. Helena can't say anything because she is using all her concentration to contain her frustrated body's desires. Donna cleans the dust and dirt from her hair while laughing. Fight. No, that was just a friendly sparring session, right, Helena? Yeah. Sparring session. Helena shakes her head and forces herself to stop gazing at Lucien. I was just examining her skills. And Donna is really strong. Wrath makes a mocking expression, making Lucien want to start a sparring session with her right now. However, he knows that he cannot be angry with Wrath because that would only make her happy. Well, I'm ready, but you girls need a bath, Lucien comments as he helps Donna clean up the dirt from her hair. Helena makes a fake upset expression. I understand that Donna has to participate in this, but I have no reason to go to this stupid ceremony. Lucien sighs as he knows that Helena is just trying to push him away. You are with us now, and you shouldn't stay away. We will try to help you right after the ceremony, and also, I want everyone to know about you. I see. Helena makes a shy expression while looking at the ground. But I have nowhere to bathe right now. Lucien wonders if Helena wants to ask for something else with those words and expression. You and Donna can bathe at Lore's house. He comments while taking a few leaves off Donna's long and messy hair. Helena quickly puts before taking Donna's hand and flying towards Lore's home, leaving Lucien, Lust, and the Fox. Girls behind. What a silly fallen angel. Lust shakes her head. I think she's cute. Lucien laughs. So fucking handsome. The Fox. Girls around them think as they feel their panties get wet as they look at Lucien. And he quickly smells their love juices running down their thighs. Then he holds Lust around the waist and flies too. I have to get out of here before I can no longer ignore their needs. Hashtag 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 hashtag. If you want to support me and read more than 150 chapters ahead, visit my Patreon. Patreon.com/LamentHief. You can also donate to my Ko-fi. ko.fi.com/LamentHief. Any donation helps me a lot and allows me to continue writing. Chapter 398. A Woman About to Fall. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Lucien sees Donna and Helena entering Lore's house while he flies down. He knows that his wives, his sisters, and the Sins will be surprised by the story of the fallen angel, and Donna can tell them everything about that. He can also hear that the girls are almost ready, so he doesn't enter the house and just sits on a garden bench next to the house. 2 minutes later, Eve leaves the house and walks into the garden. She smiles at Lucien and sits on the bench next to him. He is impressed by how beautiful she looks now. Eve wears another simple white dress, but that one has golden ornaments. Her hair is tied in a bun that doesn't hold all those beautiful pink strands, leaving a few strands of hair next to her calm face. Also, she seems to be wearing very little makeup, which leaves a slight flush on her pale skin. You look beautiful. Lucien praises her. I'm always beautiful. Eve smiles as she adorably puts one of the strands of hair behind her ear. Of course. Lucien quickly responds and rests his hand on Eva's thigh without any secondary intention. Eve's lips curl into a beautiful smile as she caresses Lucien's hand on her thigh. You are also very charming with this new look. They just look at people on the street for a few minutes in silence. Then she starts talking. The angel. Donna said that you would explain everything to us later. Pride wanted to kill her, but if Donna likes her, I'm sure she is a good person. They were punching each other in the face just ago. He chuckles. Eve giggles. It makes sense for Donna to like her. Lucien laughs for almost a minute before sighs. She really looks like a good person, even though she still thinks like an angel. But. Eve is silent as she waits for Lucien to explain. Pride is also quite curious about Helena. The problem is the person who told her to follow us. He explains about Helena and the mysterious woman who may be his mother. He also talks about Daisy's past to Eve and the possible connections. Eve is very surprised by that, and so is Pride, who materializes her body in front of them as soon as Lucien finishes explaining everything. Do you really think this woman is manipulating the 7 great demons? I don't know what her real motives are, but the bloody rose will make you and your sisters strong for our purposes, and then you will die like all of our previous hosts. Pride speaks in an arrogant tone. Lucien can't help but be upset by the way Pride treats his sisters as weapons. However, things seem to be exactly like that. His father sold their souls in exchange for help to defeat the Silver Legion and control his homeworld. But now, his father's problems seem to be nothing more than an excuse to link Lucien and his sisters to the Sins. Lucien and Lust have no idea what the mysterious woman wants, but she sure is very powerful and could easily defeat the Silver Legion on her own. So, her goal must have to do with the superior races. He looks Pride in the eye. If you can tell me what that woman looks like, I will agree that you are the most superior person in this situation. TSK. Pride smiles as she tries to describe that mysterious woman. She was. Pride's expression goes from confident to confused and then shocked. I remember everything we talked about. But her appearance seems cloudy. I remembered her. But now I can't remember what her face looked like anymore. Eve makes a confused and concerned expression. So. If that woman planned all this. My mother and M. And your. Lucien is curious about Eve's confusing words. She quickly regains focus and looks him in the eye. I mean, the conflict between our father and the Pope. Was it all planned by that woman? And how can she be your mother? Your mother should be one of our father's wives. I'm sure I've seen her, but the fact that I can't remember what she looks like makes it all very suspicious. While Lucien continues to think about what Eve is hiding from him, Pride holds him by the collar of his shirt. It will be good that this woman is not your mother because I'll kill her for deceiving me. Lucien takes Pride's arm using demonic energy. I don't think she deceived you. As you said, the Bloody Rose is making us strong, and your people can have a great victory against the gods before we die. Also, that woman is almost certainly a demon, so she must want to help your people too. Our people. Lust materializes her body and points to Lucien's horns. He is also a demon, like us. I believe that we are all just pawns in other people's games. Pride steps back after feeling Lucien's powerful demonic energy. He looks a lot stronger than when they fought the last time. She looks at Lust with an angry expression. Nor does hell treat us like pawns. We are the pillars of our race, the best warriors of our people. What if that woman is a primordial? Lust asks. A primordial demon. We would know if. Pride starts to speak, but then they hear someone behind them. Everyone looks back and sees Lore with a worried expression on her face. She takes a step back. I didn't want to disturb your conversation. I just. Lucien smiles at Lore as he walks over to her. It's all right, mother.in.law. We're just talking about some speculation. Lore smiles at Lucien as she looks at his beautiful suit. You look great, ahaha. The girls are almost ready, so I came to talk to you to go first and wait for us in the courtyard. Okay. I'll be going then. He responds. Eddie, I'll go with you, Eve speaks as she approaches Lucien. We will be there in less than half an hour. Lore comments and returns home. Pride makes a mocking expression while rolling her eyes. Shouldn't we be concerned about things other than this stupid ceremony? Lucien understands how angry Pride is now, as he is also having a hard time accepting that his mother may be manipulating him. However, being angry is not going to change their current situation. Eve looks at Pride with a really upset expression. I don't think my brother's wedding ceremony is stupid. Now it's Lust's turn to roll her eyes. Oh, Pride. You will regret being so arrogant. Let's go. Lucien extends his hand to Eve. She holds his hand, and they fly towards the courtyard. The sins return to their souls, and Lust speaks to Pride in her mind. I don't completely trust hell. Nothing should happen in the demonic world without her knowing it, so I think she and that mysterious woman are in this together. Pride almost says that it is absurd, but even she cannot deny that everything seems very confusing now. What if hell is with her? We cannot yet be treated this way. Damn. We are. The 7 great demons. Lust completes Pride's sentence. I know, okay. What I'm talking about is that we have to keep together. It doesn't matter if this is their plan, we still have the hosts with the greatest potential ever. We can not only become stronger than ever, but Lucien can also create the best army of all times. Hundreds of extremely powerful women and totally loyal to him. Yes, the Bloody Rose is not their only differentiator. The boy really knows how to use your powers. Pride comments, still in an arrogant tone. Lust continues. But for that, they have to live. We have to do something to prevent them from dying due to the side effects of the Bloody Rose. The Pentagram Pact remains our best option. Do you want to continue following that woman's plan? Pride asks. Do you have a better plan? Lust asks back. Pride is silent because she can't think of anything better. Like Lucien, she hopes that Daisy will have more information about the Bloody Rose in her research. After a few seconds of silence, Lust continues. Anyway. You know that our energy can help his sisters stabilize the Bloody Rose's chaotic energy until we can do something else about it. Eve and I are fine. Pride quickly responds. Even if she needs help, she would not be able to ask for it due to her powers to force her to be arrogant and very self-confident. Lust is silent again for a few seconds before continuing. It doesn't mean that you need help, but that Lucien wants to help you. Eve sees him as her little brother, but you know he is an incredible man. No one would think badly of you for having his affection. Pride reflects on Lust's words. She sees how stronger envy is getting due to so many women envying her relationship with Lucien. If he loves me more than his other women, it will make them envy and respect me even more. Pride begins to imagine Lucien begging for her affection and thus making everyone see her as the most incredible woman of all. Lust has no way of knowing what Pride is thinking, but she knows very well how pleasure works, and her oldest sister is very dependent on the pleasure of feeling that she is always the best. So, are you willing to cooperate? Lust asks. I will think about it. Pride responds and does not feel that she is bowing because the idea of having Lucien at her feet does not look bad. Lust feels like smiling inside Lucien's soul. At first, she would say that it was impossible to make Pride accept having a romantic relationship with someone else because she would never accept that someone is worthy of her. But as she stayed with Lucien, falling in love with him more and more, she came to the conclusion that he can conquer any woman, even the arrogant Pride. She is looking forward to seeing their potential when all the sins accept Lucien. Also, the Pentagram Pact, even though it will be made with 7 people instead of 5, looks very promising as it will create a powerful bond between Lucien and his sisters. While Lust and Pride think about their potential future, Lucien and Eve arrive at the Fox.Clan's main courtyard. Despite being at night, the whole place is very lit by many lamps filled with big fireflies, producing beautiful light. The buildings and streets around the courtyard are well decorated with bands and flowers, as well as the benches, and even the trees have been beautifully decorated. There are hundreds of people around the courtyard, and the benches are positioned in front of a large stage. It is normal for them to use that place for ceremonies, but now everything has been improved since that will be the biggest ceremony they have ever seen. Not only will that ceremony be of a man with more than 20 stunning and powerful women, but also he is the brother of Queen Eve and the most handsome man they have all seen. And of course, as soon as Lucien lands in the courtyard with that charming look, also beside Eve, they catch the attention of everyone around. Lucien, while holding one of Eve's hands, uses the other to wave at people, making those young Fox.Girls almost pass out with excitement. While Lust feels her demonic energy grow as Lucien pleases so many women with just his look, Pride feels that he is having more respect from those women than Eve. In fact, the Fox.People respect and admire Eve a lot for giving them a new life, free from the werewolf and manticore.clans. Still, Lucien is not only respected for everything he did for Portgreen but also because of everything his troops said about him, especially about him being the best lover they can ever imagine. Hashtag 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 hashtag. If you want to support me and read more than 150 chapters ahead, visit my Patreon. Patreon.com/LamentHief. You can also donate to my Ko-fi. ko.fi.com/LamentHief. Any donation helps me a lot and allows me to continue writing.